Alright, Caleb, what game we playing today?
Luchador.
Luchador Mexican wrestling dice.
Yes.
And do you like Luchador?
I do.
You definitely do. You can't get enough of it, can you? Even when you get taken to the mat.
Yeah. Gotta keep going.
Gotta keep going. Well, what is Luchador all about?
Luchador is all about trying to be the last luchador standing.
Nice. And how do you do that?
By either knocking your opponents out or pinning them to the ground.
Ooh, and with a lot of dice.
Yes.
So you got a lot of characters. So I guess you start by picking your character, hon. Which did you pick?
I picked El Perito.
Nice. So you got special moves. You got some advanced cards, and you're going up against Bam Bam and Fuego. Well, sweet. Those cards look confusing when you first take a look at them?
A little.
Yeah, but are they easy to understand?
Yes.
Okay. And you got one with a little ticker on it. What does that represent?
This is strength. So this is, you slowly get knocked down this until you're KO'd.
Ooh, and if you're KO'd, you're toast.
Yeah.
Nice. Or you could also get pinned, right? Mm-hmm. Well, why don't you show us how to play?
Alright. So, to begin, 2 people or 4 people.
4 people in the ring?
4 people not in the ring. You can play 4 people in the ring, but that's a little more advanced.
That would be chaotic. But you can tag team.
You can tag team.
Nice. Okay, what do you do?
So, if it's 2 players, first you get your strength card and put it on the side that says 2 players. There's one that's 2 players and one that's 4 players. So you have less health. So 2 players, they get their characters and then they both get their wrestling dice and say 3, 2, 1, roll. If any dice come out of the ring, they don't count.
Ooh, you rolled wild.
If this appears, that's a miss. It doesn't count.
Okay.
There's blocks, counters, and punches.
So that's what you got there. Okay, so line them up. What happened?
So, I punched and blocked. He punched and countered. So he'll counter one of my punches, and I'll block his punch.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It means I block his punch, so nothing happens, but he counters my other punch, which means he hits me back.
Okay, and how do you hit?
He rolls his green dice to see how much damage he deals. Chokehold. That means I lose 2 strength.
So you look on your little chart and it tells you.
Backhand chop, forearm smash, drop kick, chokehold, chair smash, or table slam.
So all those can be hit if you score a hit. Okay,
Yes.
so you got dinged some points.
Yeah.
Or some strength.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
You go again.
So it's frantic dice rolling, right?
Frantic dice rolling.
All right.
Go again.
And what do we have this time?
Let's see. This is a pin. You can only pin when their little red tick goes below 14.
Okay, so once they're there, then they're pinnable.
Yes.
So let's suppose he is. Let's go over that. But first, do your other dice.
Ooh.
So let's say he was down there. What are
Okay.
your other hits?
He got 2 hits and 2 counters. I got 2 counters and a block. Which means I'll counter those 2. Which means I punch him back twice.
Okay.
So I go. Backhand chop, he takes 1. And another backhand chop, so he takes 2 overall.
Counters did that. All right, but now we're saying he's in the pin zone, pinnable zone.
Yes.
And you rolled a pin, so what does that mean?
That means I get to roll this magical yellow dice called
It's
the pin
magical.
dice. Yes.
What are the possible results there?
That is a stun, which means your opponent is stunned.
Okay.
So if you're playing tag teams, he can't tag out this round, and he only rolls 3 dice next
Okay.
round.
Okay, so that's a stun. What are the other options?
There's you miss the pin, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
There's 2 of those. There's you celebrate instead of finishing the pin, and you regain 1 strength.
Okay.
or you successfully pin him.
Oh, okay. So what happens when you pin him?
He gets his 4 dice together. He rolls.
And what's
This time he
shooting
rolls
for?
out 3 blocks or counters, and it could be a mix. It's like Yahtzee. You get 3 tries and set aside blocks and counters. He successfully did it, so he escaped the pin.
So he escaped the pin. But if he hadn't, then you would have pinned him and you would have won.
Automatically.
Wow. So once you get someone in the pin zone, those are pretty sweet.
Yes. So let's say I got, where is it? 2 pins,
Okay.
and I successfully pinned him both times. Next time, he only rolls 3 dice, but he still has to get 3 blocks and counters, which means it is very deadly, and I just won.
Because he didn't get out of the pin.
Yes.
Nice. There's ways to escape the pin and all that.
Yes.
Plus, it looks like every character has different abilities that they
Yes.
have on there. You've got different strengths and weaknesses, so you can step it up. So you can play basic without those abilities if you don't want to. And how do you tag out if you're doing tag teams?
So let's say I had La Tormenta on my team. Let's say he's here. I high-five him. He can choose not to high-five me if he doesn't want me out
If
yet.
he doesn't want in the ring.
Yeah. And then I roll this dice. Then if I get any result other than a miss, I'm safe. If I get a miss, I'm dragged back in the ring and I only roll 3 dice because I'm stunned.
So you could try to tag out because you're low on strength and not
You get
be
dragged
out.
back.
So it sounds kind of crazy. So it's just a lot of dice rolling fun, huh?
Yes.
And you love it?
Yes.
What would you rate Luchador Mexican Wrestling Dice?
I would rate it a 4.6.
Nice. Well, I guess you're anxious to get playing, huh?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Caleb.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.